Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's see what this, let's see what these tea leaves have to say. My mind just went straight to this formation right here. It looks very much like a person standing holding a knife or something. So let's keep that in mind, and we're gonna turn this thing. Oh, and now we have a person riding on a horse. Right here, you can see. Okay, and our card for this reading is the Three of Cups, which has to do with abundance. Okay, and here we have, it looks like a chicken on top of a horse. You can see the chicken and the horse. Okay, so I guess let's turn this all the way. Well, and it looks like a wolf now attacking that chicken. All right. We're going to start right here with the person holding the knife. My goodness. Let's see. So, a lot of our leaves are in this one area, and we do have a few other little formations, and we'll look at those as well. But this one, the first thing, that comes to mind when you see something like this is maybe like an assassination of character, somebody speaking, poorly about you, kind of like the, stab you in the back type of deal. And so, I guess look out, Taurus. You have somebody pretty shady, somebody who's not very nice, hanging around. But it's funny because it looks like they're holding a flower too. So this maybe is a romantic partnership of some kind. Maybe somebody you are dating. Maybe this is not your primary relationship, and this is a person maybe you are, getting to know on the side. I don't know. But with the flower, it seems like there is a sense of courtship, and, or at least somebody who shows their affection through some kind of symbolism, which could be giving you flowers. But they don't seem to have your best interests in mind. Okay, so now we're going to go back over here. We're going to look at, we have the rooster on top of the horse. Now the horse is a sign of vitality and strength, and hard work, movement. Usually if I see like a cart or something, a chariot would be a period of very work focused, getting things done. Having a cart or like a wagon or something like that, that would be probably moving to a different place, another city, maybe another home, but some kind of migration, physically usually. Okay, so let's see. We have this rooster who is sounding the alarm. You can see the actual, the little like sound lines coming from this rooster who is standing on the back of this horse. And I feel that there's a deep intuition about this other person we were talking about, the maybe a romantic entanglement or somebody who you've been talking to. Maybe it is somebody you're married to. I don't know. Hopefully not. But, something about their behavior is off, and you recognize that. I think that that they just have some kind of, I don't know, cunning to them, or maybe there's just a darkness in them, really, is what it is. It seems like they are not really a trustworthy person, at least not with you, and I don't know why that is, but, it's people do things for all kinds of reasons, and especially, when you haven't known somebody for a long time, or you haven't gotten to know somebody very deeply, it's hard to say, right? I don't know. I'm a pretty, I guess I'm somewhat paranoid, about people, but it's not just paranoid. I'm just I'm very skeptical about people, in my private life. Right. And so, I have the tendency as an older person, I wasn't like this when I was younger, but as an older person, you have acquaintances, but when somebody becomes part of your private life, especially if it's a romantic thing, there's no reason you shouldn't be taking your time. I don't care how old you are. I know, the older you get, you want to get into these things. And when you're younger too, you think the world is, your life is going to pass you by so quickly. In some ways it does, but we don't have to always just jump into things. I mean, that's just kind of old lady me. I mean, I courted my husband for years before anything got serious, and I'm glad we did, because I trust him more than anybody I've ever met, right? And so I think it's a good thing to feel things out. And when you feel something is that rooster, and that rooster really is kind of the that thing in us, kind of that reptilian brain, that instinctual thing that tells us there's something here to fear. There's some kind of predator around. There's somebody or something that could hurt us. Okay. And so, be aware. At least keep your eyes open, and so we have that, we have that fox, that wolf, whatever it is, getting into that chicken coop, right? And they get in there, and what do? They tear the thing apart. They get whatever they can eat. And really, I think that what this signifies to me is somebody who is good at gaslighting, somebody who is good at making you feel like the way, your instincts are kind of going, your intuition's going off, somebody who's good at shutting that part of you down, okay? Making you feel like you're being overreactive, unreasonable. You're seeing things where there's nothing, right? But when things are off. You just do. No, I know that sometimes for me, I feel like, I'm just reading into things too deeply or whatever. But but I always know when something's weird, right? Something's off. And, it's part of our conditioning. Our conditioning as just people, in general, to not listen to ourselves, to just go with the flow. Don't make problems, don't make waves, whatever. And so then we end up in these positions where we are vulnerable to someone who, whatever they're doing, if they're talking poorly about you, badly about you, if they're leading you on, if, and it escalates from there. It could be many other things. So, just be careful. I don't believe that everybody's bad or everybody's lying or, anything like that. I just think that we need to be discerning. And, and here's the thing too, people do things for all kinds of reasons. We might not have any understanding of why they're doing it. It's all about context as well. But you have to protect yourself, okay? It's not, it's nobody's job to put up with other people's, messiness. And, especially if it is hurtful for you, then, get out of here. So, and this brings me to this person upon the horse who is kind of, it looks like it's running away fast. Even the hair is flying back. So, my advice based on what I'm seeing in this cup, just get out of there. There's not really, I can't imagine too many people that are worth sticking around for if they are, lying to you, misleading you, have things going on that you don't know about or whatever. And, if this is a long-term relationship, if you're married to this person, then, my favorite thing I like to mention, go to counseling, go to therapy, work through some of this stuff for yourself first. That's the important thing. Everybody likes to say, well, you should go to couples counseling or whatever. And yeah, that's great. I think that's a very useful tool. But I think really the most important thing is that you go to therapy or counseling or, some kind of coaching or, somebody, a healer, whatever it is, whatever speaks to you for yourself. Because that's where you need to focus in fortifying yourself before anything else, okay? And then working on the relationship or, at the same time. Now we have another bird down here. This is in the emotional, going into the metaphysical, and we have a flower growing out of this metaphysical into the emotional. And so, I think at the end of the day, ultimately, although this could be hurtful, this is, not an ideal situation. I see you flourishing anyways. I don't think that, we're dealing with Taurus here, right? We're talking about Taurus. So, you're not going to let anybody dampen your whatever, your glow, your light. You are not going to be dimmed by somebody else's, selfishness or untruths. I think that if anything, this is just a motivator for you to focus on your own things, get out there and do the things that make you happy, your interests, your spirituality. I really see that blooming. Your relationship with the divine, okay? Sometimes it's just, it takes some of those I saw this thing, it was like a meme, but it said, storms, what is it? Yeah, storms coming through, shaking the tree. And this is what I got from it. I forget how it was worded exactly. But the storms coming through, blowing the trees around, cause the tree to dig in deeper roots to keep themselves upright, to be rooted. And so sometimes, and I'm not going to glorify suffering or anything like that, but sometimes we do need some hardships. And sometimes we have to remember when the universe exposes something in our life, even if it's very painful, when we have that revelation, it is a blessing. It is, very much an opportunity to go another way. Because can you imagine trying to make that work with somebody who is going to dishonor you? Maybe not just once, but continually. Why would we live that way? And I know, sometimes we get into those situations. Sometimes we are, we get married to somebody and we stick around for years and years, and you can love them, very much. And yet they are still a person who does not respect you, does not treat you well, and so on. And so, I get it and I understand and definitely have been there. So, that's not anything foreign to me, but I also know, as the person I am here, sitting here talking to you, that we don't have to live that way. Okay. You sometimes have to make the hard choices and do the difficult thing. Okay. And with this bird here, I see, and it looks like we have kind of a crescent moon above it. I believe that you are just divinely watched over, loved, taken care of by somebody who, maybe a grandparent, a parent, a friend, somebody who's transitioned, but almost like, and I'm trying to think of what those small birds are. It's almost, like I can't think of what they are really. Like almost, it's kind of like an ibis maybe, but without, not really the head, and I'm not like a pheasant, but something, a bird that is, a lake bird, definitely. Something that's contemplative, serene, kind of a message of, taking your time, patience, but also following your instincts with the seasons. Okay, so when it's time to go, when we feel that shift in the air, right? And you got to get going. You got to start heading south for the winter, right? And so it is with life. We have to listen to the natural flow of things, even in our relationships, even in the places we live, and our jobs and so on, because nothing is more miserable than sticking around in a situation that is not for us anymore. Okay. And of course, I'm not here advocating divorce or anything like this, but definitely taking care of yourself. Okay. And knowing when it's your time to do something else. Okay. And I think in whatever choice you make, or, whatever comes of this, you are looked over. The birds definitely, since I've been reading tea leaves every day, right? I've formed deeper and deeper relationships with the symbols. And now I am quite sure that birds really are tied to, almost supernatural well, and I mean, as far as symbolism goes, supernatural forces, or ultra natural forces. And I think that, there are a lot of birds I see in the cups, in symbolism, in artwork, in mythology, and these are messengers of our loved ones. And so now I can't help but look out into the yard or wherever we go, and I see, all kinds of lovely messages coming through. And I hope that if you watch these readings that you begin to look at things in your life and look for some of the patterns, some of the little blessings, that are offered to you every day. We can go so long just, getting through doing our mundane tasks, and we don't realize we're fully immersed in a reality that is always offering us a chance to look a little deeper. And we must, sometimes stop and take that invitation. And so let's see what we have over here. Well, it looks like we have kind of a ladder. And I always think of these kinds of ladders as, that ladder from the micro to the macro, from the lower base reality up into those spiritual realms. And so I feel that this time, although difficult, will prove to be one of the more enlightened and spiritual moments in your life. And is often the case, I think. When these emotions subside a little bit and the heart is relieved of kind of that initial pain, there's a lot of room, to look for meaning, for some kind of sentimentality, and seeking comfort in in that God thing, in that, in the faith, in spirituality, and in our own interior processes. So another place to take the opportunity to get closer, to that great unknown. Okay. And so we are also going to look at the Dreamer's deck, and it says 40 affirmations for pursuing your dreams from the I Know collection. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and stop where it feels right. And I'm gonna, it says, I know that my blessings come from being thankful for what I already have. I am grateful. Okay. Yeah, I can't argue with that. I haven't been talking about our gratitude lists lately, so maybe this is a good time to implement 5 reasons that you are grateful every day. Keep an ongoing list. Even if you repeat some of the things, get yourself a little notebook, one of those composition books, a legal pad. Those are what I like to write on. Whatever it is, make a list of 5 things every day that you're grateful for. Okay? Do that for, 2-3 weeks, every single day. And it'll start to help change the way that you experience your daily life. Because you're looking more for the things that that feel like blessings rather than the things that, just, feel like you're down in the dumps and the world's out to get you and all this kind of stuff, okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and say thank you very much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you, Taurus. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. And the algorithm basically just decides like how well this channel does, who sees these videos. So, you know, things like liking the video, sharing the readings on other social media platforms, watching the videos all the way through, watching more than one video, you're all watching your different placements. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And if you want to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. I read all of them. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll talk again very soon, in a few days.